Okay, this is going to be a fairly long video. I've got quite a lot to cover. So, this is an example of how successful feminism is, right? Feminism is the original hate movement, and it's also the most successful hate movement on the planet. It puts the KKK and the Nazi Party into the shade because, unlike other hate movements, society doesn't reject it. They're in the mainstream. They're damaging and destroying society. Okay, so we're going to watch a TED talk, and this is in the UK, and we're going to show how a feminist in the UK changes the society in the USA. Right? Feminism is an international movement. Okay, men's rights can't even set up a Discord group with 100 people in it and keep feminists out. Right? The biggest men's rights Discord group has actually got feminists as moderators. Men can't organise a piss up in a brewery. That's how pathetic we are as a group. So anyway, let's just watch this TED talk. It's about porn.
Thank you. Today, what I'm going to talk about is what does it mean to grow up in a pornified culture?
We don't live in a pornified culture. That is your assumption. You're just making an assumption. You're labelling it so and just acting like it's true. There's no such thing as a pornified culture. There is some porn. People watch porn, which is harmless. Okay?
What does it mean to live in a society where you are surrounded by images of hypersexualized, pornified women?
So, pornified women, it's turning women into victims, hypersexualized. That's a subjective value judgment, hypersexualized, right? And these same feminists, they want to flaunt it in our faces if they got it, and then shame us for looking as well, which pisses me off. But anyway, let's get on with it.
What does it mean when you live in a society where basically pop culture is shaped by those pornographic images?
This is complete horseshit. This is complete horseshit. Okay.
And what I'm going to talk about is how those images.
Like women's magazines. Let's look at women's magazines. It's full of pretty, attractive, sexy women because that's what women like, right? Women are actually not interested in men sexually, to be honest, that much. They're actually like themselves more than they like men. That's why women's magazines are full of women on the cover, right? And there's lots of sexy women on women's magazines. It's because women want it. Okay.
Shape gender and sexual identity.
No. Sexual psychology shapes porn. Porn. There is a feedback mechanism, right? But by and large, porn is shaped by human psychology, human desire. Okay, so men in general like big asses and big tits and cute faces with big eyes and nice long hair, glossy hair. The vast majority of female porn stars who are popular look like that. Okay. And even women without big tits and big ass, the porn stars, they're going to be naughty, they're going to have cute faces, long hair, and they're still going to be cute, right?
Today, young people.
And that's the same for fat women as well. Fat women in BBW porn stars have big asses, big tits, and cute faces and long glossy hair. That's the standard for heterosexual men.
People grow up not in a print-based culture like those of us over the age of 35, and I'm being nice here.
Yeah. Okay. So she's letting print-based culture off the hook because that's what women consume. So all the violent rape fantasies that women love, they're in romance novels. That's fine. That's left alone. That's not problematic, right? Okay, because men don't read romance novels. I promise you, if 50% of romance novel readership was male, feminists would do a complete 180. Some feminists would do a complete 180 and try and get that banned, right? Even though they enjoy it themselves, they'll ban it just to make sure men couldn't enjoy it. Okay. And by the way, 50 Shades of Grey, a very popular movie and novel that has stories about men in abusive relationships getting abused and exploited by an older woman, right? So what they're accusing us of doing, they do themselves.
But they grow up in an image-based culture. So let's wander through.
It's been an image-based culture for like 100 years, you stupid liar. Come on. There's been cinema, there's been posters, there's been magazines. Jesus Christ. Well, were we living in the dark ages 30 years ago? There's only like printed books. Don't bullshit me.
Through the world they live in. So when I lecture to people, often therapists.
I'm actually very angry. Sorry. This is pissing me off. look, watching feminist success gets me angry, right? And I'm actually ashamed as a man that we're not stopping this.
Or parents, they don't really know the world their kids live in. But you know what? The media does. So here is a magazine called Details, which is like Cosmopolitan for men. And they had an article called How Internet Porn is Changing Teen Sex.
Yeah, because it's an article, it's necessarily true, right? Whatever.
And they
So basically, I'm gonna say what I'm into sexually, I was like this before I discovered internet porn or even porn, right? Okay, so up until the age of 10, I wasn't interested in girls sexually, right? I wasn't even drawn to them, okay. But 11, 12, I started getting interested in girls, right? And one of my first crushes was Chun Li because she had thick thighs and a booty and boobs and a cute face, and I started paying attention to females, right, in real life and fictional, and I liked boobs and I liked ass, okay, and I've always been interested in ass, right, and I've always been interested in anal sex for as long as I could remember. I've always been interested in seeing women get fucked up the ass, right, and even before I knew what anal sex was, right, before I first saw my anal porn, I was about 15. Okay, I was interested in the female ass, right? I was interested in the female butthole, right? I was just interested. It wasn't taught to me. It wasn't shaped by the culture. That's my preference, and I like boobs, and I like monotonous faces. Okay, and I like older women with boobs and ass, and I like teenage girls with boobs and ass. Okay, that's what I've always been like. It hasn't been programmed into me. It hasn't been taught into me. I could promise. It's like gay men. Gay men who grow up in a homophobic culture in the past, right? Okay, they grew up in homophobic culture in the past. Okay, they weren't taught to like gay men, were they? They weren't taught. They weren't like taught to like penises and male butts and abs or whatever and muscly arms. It was just innate to them, right? Even if they got punished for it. So this idea that you teach people this stuff is nonsense. It's fucking nonsense. You might feed into it, like they might sell porn that feeds into it, right? And they discover and it grows and it develops. But you don't teach people this stuff. It's fucking innate. Sexuality is innate, right?
interviewed a pornographer called Joanna Angel, and she said the girls these days, they just seem to come to the set porn ready. What does that mean?
Porn ready. They're ready to do what the shoot is requiring them to do. They're coming porn ready. What the fuck does that mean? So you're meant to be a porn star and you're not ready. What? So they're not even making a point.
What I'm going to say is that this culture is socializing our young girls to be ready for pornography, whether they ever end up on a porn site or not.
This is complete fucking horse shit. This is just a barefaced lie, right? Our culture. So this look. Okay, I've watched an interview with pornographers and producers. Okay, and they get lots of contact from young girls, teenage girls, and they get a lot of contact from underage girls like 15, 16, 17. And the porn producers have to tell them to bug off, basically, because they shit their pants. They don't want anything to do with them, right? And they want so they wait until they're 18. Or even if they contact them, they don't wait until they get older because they'll be accused of grooming. They break contact with them, but they want the 18-year-old girls, right? They want the legal age. They want between 18 and 25, right? Okay, the girls are seeking out. Girls like sex. They like a lot of girls like rough, violent sex. All right, they like sex where men are dehumanized and they're just penises. Okay, so yeah, because if you look at a lot of porn drawn by women and written by women, the men are just objects. Right, it's not about the objects; it's about the woman. Like straight men, right? When you look at porn, the woman's at the center of it. The man's face. No one's interested in a aroused man's face or hearing him moan. Okay, they want to hear the woman moan and they want to see her face. And it's the same with females as well, right? They want to see the female moan. They want to see her enjoyment. It's all about the woman. It's female centric. That's what porn actually is. So women like porn. They like sex. But women have been selling their bodies and they've been having sex since the dawn of fucking time. Okay, they've been enjoying sex. So women are these like innocent, romantic angels who just like romantic cuddling, right? And they've been brainwashed by the porn industry to like violent sex. No, sadistic, violent rape fantasies. Women enjoy it, and they enjoy it more than men, right?
And the reason for that is they are being taught to hypersexualize and pornify themselves.
Nonsense terms. These are nonsense feminist terms, right? Hypersexualized. What the fuck that means?
So let's wander through the images that these young women and men live in. Let's just think
Vanity Fair's for women. That's a women's magazine.
about the images that bombard them, the kind of pornified, hypersexualized images. And really, when you think of all the thousands
So that's hypersexualized. That's just an attractive blonde woman with showing a cleavage. Like Jesus fucking Christ.
of images, they all
I'm going to say another thing as well. This is a well-known fact. The more I'm not saying there's a direct relationship. Correlation is not causation, right? But you can say with certainty that porn and sexual images doesn't cause violence or sexual violence because more liberal cultures with more access to pornography have less violence and less sexual violence. So any claim that this causes problems, this is violence against women, it's a lie. It's a non sequitur. It's a non sequitur. It does not follow. It does not compute. One has nothing to do with the other, right? Okay. The sun is yellow. Violence against women. That's how much sense this is making. So it's basically, I don't like this thing. Men are enjoying this, therefore women are getting raped. And because women are getting raped, therefore we have to ban it. That's what it is. It's a non sequitur.
all come down to a young, white, blonde, toned female.
Okay, this is intersectionalism. She's bringing up the racist stuff for no good reason. This is an intersectional feminist tactic. It's irrelevant, right? Men find dark-skinned women sexy, right? Brown-skinned women sexy. Yellow-skinned women sexy, right? If she's got a cute face, big boobs, and big ass, men will jerk off to it. Men will look at it, right? Like, if I had a choice between a big ass black woman and a boobed, big ass white woman, it'll be 50-50. Maybe I'll actually slightly prefer the black woman, to be honest. But whatever.
Now, God forbid, by the way, anything jiggles, apart from the breasts, of course, but other
No. What do you mean? God forbid anything? I've never seen men say that. Never seen men say that. Men are far less fussy and selective than women are. You're projecting your own fucking dehumanizing, deselection traits on men, right? Women select men for status, and they cut them off from intimacy, and they cut their men off from intimacy that they would enjoy having sex with. These women would enjoy having sex with these men, right? But they still cut them off from intimacy being low status. So men are not fucking fussy at all. Again, it's projection.
than that, your whole skin has to be bolted down. Now, we
No, what do you mean your whole skin has to be bolted down? I've seen plenty of gilf and I've seen plenty of MILF porn stars with wrinkly faces and floppy bodies and floppy bellies. Men don't care. They're smooth. They've got a cute face. Men don't care. So this woman, it's two things she's done. She doesn't know what she's talking about, and she's lying. She doesn't know what men actually like. Okay, because she doesn't care about men. She doesn't empathise with men. She's a feminist. She's a psychopath. Okay. I watched plenty of porn. I know who the most popular porn stars are. Like one of the most popular Persian porn star, number one on the ranking Persian porn star. There's lots of beautiful Persian women. When she was popular, she was in her 50s, right? Persian Manor, right? And she had a belly. She had big saggy tits. She had a wrinkly face. She had a very nice facial structure. That's important. She had long dark hair, but she had big tits and big ass, right? Men don't. Oh, there's some wrinkles there. I'm not interested. That's bollocks. That's bollocks, right?
do let some women of colour in if they look like Beyonce or Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, and also what they're doing is I've just noticed something as well. This is a sleight of hand tactic. So she's talking about celebrities. She's talking about celebrities, pop stars, and magazine cover models. Right? That's not the same as porn stars. There's porn star rankings. Right? And a lot of these celebrity women could be attractive porn stars, but a lot of them. Most of them could become porn stars. There's a lot of variety. Men are not fussy in general. Right, I'll watch a really sexy porn star and jerk off, and for a bit of variety, I'll look at a less attractive one. Right, just for variety, I'll look at a granny getting banged up the arse. I'll look at a young teenage 18-year-old girl banged up the arse. I'll watch a BBW, and then I'll watch a black woman. Oh, I feel like a Chinese woman. Right, I want a tall woman. Right, I want variety. Men are like that. But anyway, the point I'm making, she's showing famous celebrities. It's not the same as porn rankings, right? Porn rankings is the purest rankings of attractiveness because it's literally what men want to jerk off to, right? Okay, and it's big boobed, curvy women for the most part, but some skinny women. But it's neosinous faces, right? Cute faces, feminine features, right?
Or, of course, Rihanna. But on the whole, the main image is a white, hypersexualized female.
There's no such thing as hypersexualized.
So in media theory, we have a concept called the reader inscribed in the text. So look at this woman. Look at her clothes, look at her face, look at her posture, and look at her gaze, G-A-Z-E. Now, who is she speaking to? Because the notion is...
She's selling her sex appeal to a mass audience of men. Okay, don't overcomplicate this with pseudo-academia, right? Pretentious bitch.
Is that every image has a reader in mind.
Yeah?
Before you answer, do you think she's speaking to her mother, saying, let's go for a cup of coffee after the photo shoot? So who's she talking?
So she's speaking to fucking men. What's fucking wrong with that? How dare she appeal to men? You fucking control freak psychopath. Bitch. You are a vindictive, hateful, lying control freak bitch. You're a man hater.
Talking to? Who's she speaking to? Men. And what?
How dare she speak to men? How dare she appeal to men? Yeah, with your women with your fucking romance novels full of fucking rape and sadistic sex and torture and murder. Jesus Christ. Who do you think reads the true crime is more popular with women than it is with men? Right? All these crime magazines, and the crime magazines, if you go to the supermarket, the crime magazines are all right next to the women's magazines, right? Fucking hell. I'll tell you, horror movies, men like horror movies, but it appeal to women as well, and they appeal to women more. Okay? Let's digress. I'm going to digress a lot in this, I'm sorry. Got a lot of theories to get out. Okay, so women like horror movies where the women get chopped up, right? And some men get chopped up. It's mostly women, right? And the women get chopped up in horror movies because people feel more empathy for women. They feel more concern for women. So it heightens the horror when the main victims are women, and the final survivor is always a woman as well, because people feel more empathy and care and concern. Oh no, not the extra human. Hope she gets away. That's how a horror works. Okay, but women get off on the killing. Okay. Right? Now, men, they like action movies. What more than women? Far more than women. Horror movies is more 50-50. Action movies is like 90% male. Okay? Why men like action movies more than horror movies? It's because it's men killing other men, dangerous outgroup men who are a threat to other women, who want to kidnap them, rape them, murder them. Right? That's the basis of most action movies. That guy's a threat to women, we've got to kill them. Men fantasize about being the white knight who kills other men, beats them, tortures them, and put them in a place to save women. So men have care and compassion and empathy for women, right? They want to kill to save women, right? That's the difference. Women are into sadism against women more than men are. Male sadism is mostly directed towards other men, okay? And let's talk about serial killers. Serial killers do less than 1% of all murders. Okay? Like there's like probably like 50 serial killers in the USA right now in a country of nearly 400 million. It's nothing. Men who are sadistic to women and beat them and torture them are an extreme fucking outlier. Not that 0.1%. And they're considered fucking freaks by the rest of society. Oh, by the way, men who are serial killers or torture women and sexually assault them, who writes them letters? Women do. Okay. All right. Just making that clear.
Saying, fuck me. Would you all agree?
Yeah, how dare it say that? Fuck me. So, like, these fucking feminist cunts, they go, oh no, you're shaming women over their sexuality. They're not allowed to express their sexuality. And she's attacking male sexuality. What a fucking hypocrite cunt.
So this is what I call the fuck me look. And there's not a woman in this room who couldn't right now go into the fuck me look. Am I right?
I doubt you could do it, love. You're probably not interested in sex.
Does this look right? With your vulnerable neck, looking with your eyes like this.
You can't do it.
Now, I want you to think what it means to be male and grow up in a culture where before you can even speak, females are offering themselves to you.
But what the fuck are you on about, you stupid bitch? Females are not offering themselves to babies before they can speak. What the fuck are you on about? You think a baby's gonna look at a fucking porn magazine? I told her gonna look at a porn magazine and think the woman's offering herself to me. Jesus Christ, you're a fucking lunatic.
Come get me, come get me. Now, what happens to young girls is when they are developing their sexual identity,
Okay.
what they learn is they have two choices.
Okay, mothers socialise girls. Mothers control the family unit, right? It's mothers who teach girls to dress up and do beauty pageants, right, and wear inappropriate clothing, if that's happening, that's all on women.
Either fuckability or invisibility.
Oh, fuckability or invisibility. Fuck off, you gaslighting bitch. Men don't fucking think like that. Men treasure their relationships with women. They're dying to have a fucking relationship with women, right? There's plenty of men in sexless relationships with women, right? You want to keep the woman around. Fuck you, you lying bitch. For men, it's either status or invisibility, deselection or invisibility. Men begging to be with women, absolutely fucking begging to be with women and getting ignored, right? Humble, respectful, meek men, absolutely fucking begging. Right, but if they don't do the status grind, they get fucking deselected. This is more projection, fuckability or invisibility. Women are not fucking invisible. They're not fucking invisible. What a fucking lie. This is actually slander against men. Oh, men only care about women if they're fuckable. Fucking lie. Fucking lie. Like, men treasure the relationships with women, female relatives, right? Jesus Christ. Fuck you.
And what do you want from a teenager when built into the DNA of adolescence is the need to be visible? What do you want from her when her friends are walking around?
So these teenage girls, what they do, they deselect boys their own age, right, and go for higher status men. There's boys begging for a girlfriend, begging. Even the most geeky girl can get a boyfriend if she wants it. She just has to ask, right? She just has to ask. Boom, she gets it. Maybe she has to ask one or two times, 3 times at the most. Boyfriend, boom, totally within control. Boom, far more sexual power than men. Far more relationship power than men. Boom, snap of the fingers, right? There's no invisibility for women. None. Right, and these women go. So if they're competing for high status men and they're competing for for status and for celebrity, right? That's a different matter, right? But the vast majority of men are fucking invisible. You're not entitled to celebrity status. You're not entitled to it. So you're not invisible if you don't have celebrity status. Women are worshipped. Women are regarded. Women have more rights. Women are protected. All the concerns are listened to by society, even though most of them are bullshit. This is nonsense.
With low slung jeans, a tramp stamp, with those midriff showing. What do you want her to
No one forces women to do this. There's plenty of conservative women who don't act like this. No one fucking forces them to do this, you fucking lying bitch.
do? Because it is
I'm sorry if I'm really angry. I'm a lot of digressions, but whatever.
impossible to ask
I'm not redoing this either.
her to go for invisibility.
What are we asking us to go? So basically, be a sexy slut or whore or tramp or whatever, or be invisible. That's the dichotomy she's offering up, which is false. It's nonsense, right? Be invisible. Women are not fucking invisible. Fuck you. Like, women, even the most homely woman can find a male provider slave for her. This is just lies.
This is not a choice.
Even this frumpy woman, right? Even this frumpy, bitter, man-hating feminist bitch, if she's heterosexual, she's got a relationship. I promise you that now.
This is being forced
If she wants one.
into a type of sexuality that she didn't invent, that she didn't decide because there are so few choices.
When there's so fucking few choices, women have got far more choices. Like, women can be BBWs. Look, there's ugly, gross women, and I like BBWs, but I'm talking about legitimately gross, ugly, women with like big, blobless faces, no tits, flat chest, but big, well-bodied, gobbling pizzas down on YouTube. Right? Okay? Right? Got thousands of subs. Right? Women can cut their hair short, they can tattoo themselves up, right? They have tramp stamps, right? They can be average looking, they can even be ugly looking, they'll get followers, they'll get attention, they can get dates, right? So you're just full of shit, and you know you're full of shit, right? This is just all a narrative, this is a victim narrative to attack male sexuality. This is all it is. And I will show you this leads to consequences. I'm not just angry because this is lying. If these bitches are getting ignored and are no influence, I won't be doing this video.
So what does this mean to be a young girl? When I was struggling with thinking what's happened in this culture, you know who really told me what it was? It wasn't someone with a PhD in sociology or psychology. It was actually incarcerated child rapist I like to call Dick.
Okay, this story's gonna be a lie. This story's gonna be a lie. This is just made up. This is feminist smearing. If they could name the person, she would name it. This never happened.
Now, Dick was in prison for raping his 12-year-old stepdaughter. And he was explaining to me how he groomed her. And grooming is what you do when the perpetrator hones in on his victim, starts to develop a relationship with her, and then tell her that what really matters is how hot she is, that she's really sexy, she's hot. And by the time you actually make your move, she's bonded to you, and she thinks the most important thing about herself is that she's hot. Now, Dick was explaining to me how he groomed his stepdaughter, and then he looked me straight in the eye and he said, the culture did a lot of the grooming for me.
This is just a lie. I can't imagine any sex offender talking to a feminist woman in prison, getting interviewed and looking straight in the eye and saying that. This is just a lie. This is just a lie. This is feminist propaganda lies, right? So when Nazi Germany invaded Poland, they staged a fake false flag attack, right? And they killed some prisoners, German prisoners, put Polish military uniforms on them and dumped their body on the German border, then claimed that Poland attacked them first, right? That's Nazi Germany lying. Feminism lies in the same way, right? Feminists lie in the same way. They're a political ideology at war with everyone, male.
For me. And I have to tell you, I nearly fell off my chair.
Yeah, 'cause it never happened, bitch.
Because he was exactly right.
No, even if it did happen, no, he wasn't fucking right. Okay, let's talk about sex offenders. Someone who's going to groom a 12-year-old child, right? Someone who's going to groom a 12-year-old child is going to groom a 12-year-old child whether porn exists or not, right? There's probably more grooming in the past than there is now. It's harder to do. It's probably sexual offences are declining, right? So this idea that porn causes grooming is complete nonsense. And this is actually very similar to a QAnon. QAnon, right-wing, far-right lunatics going on about grooming and paedophiles all the time. She's using the same tactic. It's a non sequitur. So this is her logic, right, or anti-logic. Grooming, sex offenders, therefore ban porn. That's it. That's her logic. Nothing to do with each other.
The culture is mass perpetrating against our girls.
What nonsense.
It used to be that you needed an individual perpetrator to perpetrate against an individual girl.
What?
Not anymore. Now, Perp Culture Part 2 for the...
So look, the average girl. So first, children are going to seek porn out. They're not getting perpetrated against. They're not meant to look at it anyway. It's up to the parents to stop them finding it. And two, all these women's magazines, all these fashion and makeup and dresses that women let their girls wear, teaching them to be narcissists, teaching them to cover their faces like clowns. Right? That's not men doing it. Men don't actually like makeup. Right? Men don't like makeup. So this is another thing that feminists do. They gaslight men and go, "Oh, you make us wear makeup. You make us wear it against the will." Fuck off. Stop lying.
The boys is the porn industry. When I talk about porn, I don't mean Playboy, Penthouse, or Hustler. Let's go back to details.
She's going to talk about porn, and I'm going to call bullshit. She's going to claim things are common in porn which are actually not.
They said in this article, there is an entire generation of young people who think sex ends with a money shot to the face.
Hustler magazine. Do they? Oh, Hustler magazine said it, so therefore it must be true. Is that Hustler magazine? Details magazine. Oh yeah, because details. So they said it, therefore it must be true. This is complete fucking nonsense.
Initiated out there, a money shot is ejaculation on the face.
Yeah.
To tell you what goes on in the world, because I teach young people, I lecture across the country.
And you shouldn't be teaching anyone, you bigoted, man-hating cunt. You are a Nazi.
In colleges all over. And a student told me that she was talking to a boyfriend who wanted to actually date, which in the hookup...
Any anecdotal story she tells you is a lie, right? I'm just saying that right now.
Sex culture, believe me, is a big thing. And he said to her he had a deal.
This idea that men want to copy what they see in porn is nonsense and it's lies, basically. Now, I've had experience, very limited experience with women. I've talked about this in the past, blah, blah, blah. But I've actually had experience with women who just wanted me to stick it in. They just want me to stick it in, right? They just want to get banged. They don't want any foreplay. They don't want any kissing. So it makes it... There was one case where it's impossible for me to get erect because of this. And she was actually angry at me, right? Okay? And I don't get very many opportunities. She was actually very attractive, but she didn't like kissing. She didn't like the cuddling, right? She just wanted me to fuck her. Okay, I never got to get with her because of this, right? She thought I was a loser after this. But anyway, she didn't want any foreplay. She didn't want any foreplay. So she was the one that wanted to be banged like it was a porn movie with no understanding of male sexuality. Okay, for me to have sex, I need kissing. I need to kiss and be close and hug and have at least 5 minutes of that with a woman who smells nice, who I like the smell of. That's what I need to do to have sex. Okay, right? I can't just chomp it up right away. Okay, so I've got to get signals that the woman's eager for it, that she wants it, and then that therefore that causes my arousal. Okay, and this is actually common as well. This is just not me anecdotal. There's a reason why the porn industry hires fluffers, women who cuddle men to get them aroused. Men are aroused by female affection. Okay, so this idea that men should want to copy what's in porn movies is actually feminist lies and feminist projection onto men.
Deal breaker. And the deal breaker was that she had to let him come on her face.
What? That's the deal breaker. So a man, men who are desperate to be women in general, right? The average man's desperate to be with women, right? They want to have relationships, they want to have sex, they want to have intimacy, they want to get with a woman, right? In the date, he's gonna go, hey baby, you know, I, I'm willing to date you, but you got to let me money shot over your face or the date's off. What? Right? Right, just before sex, the man's gonna go, I'm gonna have money shot over your face, or I'm not gonna have sex with you. Like, what? You expect me to believe that? Okay.
And she said, no, I'm not letting you do that. And I was telling a reporter in England who was
Yeah, it never happened. Lie.
in her 40s and she was doing a documentary. And she said to me, I don't believe you. You're exaggerating.
But no, what she says is, I don't believe you. You're fucking lying.
And a 23-year-old assistant turned to her and said, do you know how many men have come on my face without asking?
You don't ask to come on someone's fucking face, you stupid fucking bitch. It's implied by the sexual act. Like so the, so Jesus fucking Christ. So I've had sex with women, right? And she's just like she's just grabbed me and she wants me to insert it in her, right? Okay. Did she sexually assault me when she put her hand on my? She didn't ask when she put my hand on my erect penis, right? She didn't ask. You don't ask for permission for every single step of the fucking way. And like the money shot, how did the fucking money shots happen, right? So okay, you're banging a woman, right? You withdraw and you're jerking. You shoot over her face. It's gonna be at least 15 seconds lying there before it fucking happens. You don't just come right away. Like Jesus fucking, he's gonna go It's in fucking implied by actions. You don't ask like a fucking robot. Honey, can I come? Honey, can I thrust? Can I thrust again? Do I have your permission to thrust a third time? Do I have your permission to move my hand down to your butt while we're making love? Do I have permission to put my tongue down your throat? Do I have my permission to do thrust number 7? I am doing enthusiastic, ongoing consent. That's not how sex works. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus Christ. So let's say I'm having sex with a woman. I'm having sex with a woman, right? I'm banging her brains out, and suddenly she wants me to lick her feet, and she puts her feet in my face to lick it without asking. That's not sexual assault. Oh, for fuck's sake. You know sex doesn't work like this. Like you ask for permission like this for sex or asking for permission like this during sex, you're gonna put the woman off. It's gonna be getting creepy. Women like spontaneous sex. Women have fucking rape fantasies. They like aggressive, violent sex. And I don't mean violent in actual violence, but I mean aggressive. Violent like in play fighting. Violent sex is like fucking play fighting, right? It's violent in the same way that play fighting is, right? You're horsing around, you put a headlock on your friend, and you rub his forehead with your fist, right? That's violent in the way that's play fight violence, right? Aggressive consensual violence and sex, sadism and BDSM, right? That's not violence, really. It's play fighting. It's a form of play fighting. That's what it is. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. I've lost track of this fucking nonsense. Sorry.
So get rid of the notion of Playboy, Penthouse, or even Hustler. Those were the good old days of pornography. I never thought I would stand here and tell you and look back and say these seemed even quaint. What changed everything was the internet.
It gave males more freedom to look at erotica.
The internet.
Women hate male freedom. Women are the class enemy of men. Women are either feminists or they're feminist enablers.
That made pornography affordable, it made it accessible, and it made it anonymous. The 3 A's that drive demand.
And they really hate the anonymous part. They really hate it, and they've dealt with that in the UK partially successfully. You can still get porn anonymously if you know how, but if you don't know how, you have to give credit card details to look at adult websites to get rid of the adult block. That's on not internet service providers by default. Okay, they want to get rid of anonymity because they want to be able to shame and stalk and harass men over looking at porn, right? Men who are 50 years old get attacked for dating women in their 20s now. They want to get rid of all anonymity for men, privacy for men, so women can go after men, right?
Do you know that porn sites get more visitors each month than Netflix, Amazon, and Twitter combined?
But who cares?
Just get your head around that. And that we know
So so therefore women are visiting it as well, right? Okay.
that from studies that nearly 90% of the top watched rented scenes have at least physical or verbal abuse against them.
People don't rent fucking porn movies, you stupid bitch. You watch them for free. Even in 2010, the top rented movies, right?
Woman.
Okay. Again, verbal aggression in sex, right, is like play fighting. That's the analogy there. Like, if you, oh, come on, you slut, you like it up your ass, bang, 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 or whatever the fuck they say, or choke on this, you bitch, right? That's play fighting. It's verbal play fighting. It's not real violence, and you know it's not real violence, right? Okay, like there's women who have sex go fuck me hard or destroy me. You're not literally destroying them, right? It's fucking and that. It's a fucking metaphor. It's just play fighting. It's a form of play fighting. Jesus Christ.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to follow the breadcrumbs of a 12-year-old. The first age of using pornography is 12. And I am just going to follow him with no credit card, put porn into Google, and I'm going to tell you what he's going to see. The first thing he's going to see, the major act on virtually all websites, is gagging.
No, it's not the major act. Lies, 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 lies. Like deep throat is common, but gagging's not. This is just a lie. Okay? And gagging probably appeals to women more than men, by the way.
This is where the man puts the penis so far down her throat that she gags almost to the point of vomiting.
So this is niche fetish porn, and these actors doing it. It's not real violence, right? Okay, it's like a circus trick. That's all it's like, yeah. So, but she's lying. This is not. She's conflating deep throat with gagging, which is she's lying.
They put a lot of mascara on her face so that she's actually tearing, and you can see the rivulets of mascara.
So what? It's acting, right? So basically, oh no no no, that's murder porn. That's snuff porn. No, that's a horror movie. It's a fictional character. It's actors.
Down. As she is choking, he grabs her head and he pulls her towards him.
And some women probably like being choked and doing that sort of thing. It's probably the masochistic fetish. Who knows, right?
And he says,
So they're conflating this with violence and paedophilia and sexual offences and violence against women and degrading women. It's all one big non sequitur.
look at me, and she is choking. This is a kind of
Oh, no, she's not choking for real, for fuck's sake.
sexual psychopath.
It's not sexual psychopath. Fuck it. Sadism is not sexual psychopath. A psychopath is a fucking psychopath. A psychopath is if you actually don't have any empathy for someone, right? It's not sexual psychopath. You're meant to be a fucking academic. You can't even get these fucking terms correct. Nothing to do with being a psychopath. Fuck's sake. And you even get fucking psychopath serial killers who are actually masochists. Masochism and sadism has nothing to do with fucking psychopath being a psychopath. Psychopathy.
And when you think that porn is the major form of sex ed,
No, porn is not the major form of sex ed, you lying bitch. You have sex education in countries, right? I don't know the quality of sex education because it's been years since I fucking had it, but you're a lying bitch.
generation of boys, most of whom are brought up on hardcore mainstream internet
Hardcore.
porn. Now, the
Is it doing him any damage? I doubt it.
average 12-year-old, when he goes on to porn,
So there's adult blocks. There's internet with adult blocks now, right? It's a standard in the UK. How the fuck are they getting onto this porn now? Then well, they can get around it, but they've got to be tech savvy to do it, right?
when he
And I first saw nudie magazines when I was about 12, 13. I was curious. I really wanted to seek it out. I was fascinated by the female form. I wanted to see naked females. I wanted to see their tits, right? I wanted to see their ass. Right? It didn't do me any fucking damage. Like, it harms kids somehow. How?
He puts porn into Google. What do you think he thinks he's going to
And this was before the internet was common as well. It was easy to find back then as well.
see? Breasts? People having sex? Do you think he's thinking of gagging? Of course he's not.
Of course he's not, because it's probably a female fetish, right?
So what keeps him on that? I started to read the text that went with the images. So let's look at this. Do you know what we say to things like romance and foreplay? We say fuck off. We take gorgeous young bitches and do what every man would really like to do. We make them gag, etc., etc. This is from a very well-known website called Gag Me and Then Fuck Me.
So what? So what? It's a niche. It's a niche fetish, right? Okay, it's a niche fetish, and so what? So what?
Now, think about this.
So it's like blaming masculines on action movies. Like fuck off, fuck off.
12 years old.
Let's ban romance novels. Let's ban romance novels that it's full of rape, right? It's full of violence, sex, and rape. Let's ban that.
He's going into manhood. He's aroused. They're telling him, you want to be a male? This is your entree into masculinity.
No, it's not telling them that, you fucking lying bitch. I was never told that. Like this is, I never even got that message for looking at nudie magazines when I was like a teenager. Fuck off. This is look. She's bringing up masculinity. This is proof that masculinity is an anti-male concept, right? Used by feminists and tradcons alike. Okay.
This is the price you pay to be masculine.
No, fuck off. Bullshit.
And in that boy's stomach is a toxic stew.
Toxic masculinity nonsense. I reject it 100%.
Because he's aroused, but he's also ashamed.
Well, don't make them feel ashamed of their arousal then, you feminist man-hating cunt. Stop linking violence to women to porn then, you lying bitch, and then he wouldn't feel shame. You want them to feel shame, you fucking cunt. You fucking hypocrite. You fucking child abuser. Putting guilt complexes on kids is child abuse. You're a child abuser.
And he's also scared. And he's also angry. And he feels enormous shame that he is aroused. And nobody has said to him, this is not who you are. Because the pornographer...
So you're still shamed. So he feels aroused. If he's aroused at it, it is who he is. So stop trying to shame him over it, you fucking bitch.
Say to him, this is who you are. This is what you want. Because
well, the person either wants it or they don't want it. You can't force porn onto people they're not interested in, right?
We take your gorgeous young bitches and we do what every man would really like to do. But you know what? That's not true. And I know that's not true. And
you see, she's having it both ways, pretending to be sympathetic to men while smearing and attacking them. It's very devious and underhand.
And I know that's true because feminists are men's best friends.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, right.
Because we believe more in men than the pornographers do.
But what do you mean you believe more than men and pornographers do? Pornography is just erotica, an outlet for men. You fucking hate men and you want to guilt them over an outlet that's fucking harmless. Okay? Again, the more porn a society has, the less violence the society seems to be. That's a fucking fact. There's no link between violence to women or violence to anyone or rape or sexual assault and porn. Period. Period. There's no link. There's no link. Serial killers and sexual assaulters always been a small minority and they've always existed. And the amount of serial killers and rape and sexual assault is actually declining. It's always been a tiny minority, and it's fucking declining. So your whole thesis that this causes violence against women is a lie. You know it's not true. It's a lie.
And you know how I know that the pornographers don't tell the truth about men? I know that as a feminist. I know that as a scholar. And above all, I know that as a mother of a son.
So you're a man-hating bitch bigot who's... Feminist women should have all their kids taken away from them if they're male. Okay, you're a feminist, but you're not a scholar. You're a pseudo scholar, right? You're a pseudo academic. You're not an academic. You're an ideologue, and you're part of a hate movement. You're a scholar in the same way that a member of the KKK is a scholar, right?
My son is worth better than this. If my son
What do you mean he's worth better than this? There's nothing wrong with porn.
is then I believe your son is too. The next really constant scene you're going to see is really violent, pounding anal sex.
Oh, you don't know. I, yeah, you know, there's women who are into that. They love it. They love it. They love talking about it. They love fantasizing about it. Right? Okay. She's acting like all these fetishes are just enforced on women, which is complete fucking nonsense. Women don't do stuff unless they want to do it for the most part. Women are more socially dominant than men. They're more controlling than men, right? On average. Women don't tend to do stuff they don't want to do. What women are doing in the bedroom, what they're doing in the porn industry, is stuff they want to do. It's because they either like it or they get paid for it. Full stop.
So let me read you the kind of promotional copy from the movie Anally Ripped Whores.
Why don't you read some of the plot lines of romance novels full of rape and sadistic sex and violence? Why not read some of that? Because you're not going to, are you? Because you're attacking what men enjoy.
Or filth know exactly what you want. Chicks being ass fucked till their sphincters are pink, puffy, and totally blown out. Adult diapers just might be in store for the whores when their work is done. This is the promotional copy.
So what? So what? What point are you making? It's extreme hardcore anal porn. So fucking what? What the fuck are you on about? You're not making a point. You're not making a point. Okay? Jesus, like there's gay men who enjoy getting fisted. They're like having a big fucking hand up their ass. That probably destroys their rectum. Who knows? They do it willingly. So there's probably women who do this willingly. I'm not an expert into this gaping prolapse stuff. It's not what I'm into. It's too much for me, right? But if there's gay men who do this stuff, who fantasize about getting fisted, who fantasize about getting fucked for 1,000 cocks and being gaped and destroyed anally, there's women probably fantasize about it as well. For fuck's sake.
You don't need a PhD in media studies to understand the violence. And
It's not fucking violence. It's sexual consensual acts, right? It's no more violence than a circus trick and a contortionist. It's not violence. Stop misusing the fucking word violence, you dishonest bitch.
make this clear, this is mainstream.
It's not fucking mainstream. It's not fucking mainstream. It's not mainstream. You're a lying bitch. This is not mainstream.
Porn. This is what the 12-year-old boy gets to within 15 seconds.
What are you lying fucking bitch? A 12-year-old boy's gonna look up that. Jesus fucking Christ. Don't be a lying bitch.
This is not the worst. I don't go near the worst.
You probably do. You go for the. You probably look up snuff and murder videos and frig off to it.
The standard porn scene, the standard porn film.
I bet you got far worse fetishes than I do. We could compare fetishes, right? I bet you got far worse fetishes than the average male, right? You're probably into some freaky, kinky shit, right? Right? Yeah. But the thing is, you hate the men of being free and enjoying erotica, and you want to ruin it and destroy it for them. And she's successful as well.
1 woman, 3 men. Oral, anal, vaginal penetration. They're pulling out.
Stop bringing up the acts. It's irrelevant what the fucking acts are. They're not violent. They're consensual. So it's irrelevant what they are. Jesus Christ.
Hair, they're spitting in her face.
Yeah, some women ask to be strangled and spat in the face. They get off on it. I've known women like this personally. So you're just lying. You're acting like these are horrible acts enforced upon them. Fuck off with that lie.
Calling her a whore, a slut, and a cum dumpster.
Yeah, so? There's gay men who say, fuck me up the arse, treat me like a cum dumpster, come in me. I want to bang 100 men, right? Use me like an object. I want to be your whole, right? And there's women who like doing that as well. It's not enforced upon them.
This is the sex education today across the world.
It's not fucking sex education, you lying bitch.
We know from 40 years of research that the
40 years of feminist research.
younger the boys get to porn, the more it limits their capacity for intimacy.
Lies. You don't know this at all. Lies. Just made up.
The more it decreases their empathy for rape victims.
Lies. That's just made up.
The more it increases depression and anxiety.
Lies. That's just made up.
And the more likely they are to engage in risky sexual behaviour.
Lies, just made up.
The future.
There's no citations there, right? We know because we say so. When a feminist says we know, you know they're lying, right?
We have a whole generation of boys desensitized because really what you want at 10 is different to what you want at 15, 20, 30.
What you want at fucking 10? You don't. I wasn't really interested in girls when I was 10, right? I found some girls cute. I found some of their faces cute, but it was nothing more than that, right? So this is what you want at 10. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
So where's this going? In 2002, the Free Speech Coalition, which is the lobbying arm of the porn industry, lobbied the Ashcroft Court to take away the argument that you couldn't use girls who looked under 18.
Good, because they're just fucking actors. It's just fucking actors. It's a slippery slope. Oh, they look under 18. Oh, they look under 25. They look under this, right? And what they look like is subjective as well. They've got to get rid of that bullshit, right? If they're 18, they're ready to go. They're 18, they're ready to take it in every single orifice, right? If they want to. If it's consensual, they can take 10 dicks up their fucking asshole, right? As soon as they turn 18. That's how it should be. Oh, they look this and that. Fuck off. Fuck off.
And this is what we got overnight.
Hey, what-
Teen porn. First time with daddy.
Yeah, it's incest roleplay, which women like as well, by the way, which they're into, by the way. It's fucking acting roleplay. It's not real. It's no more real than a fucking horror movie or an action movie.
Daddy's whore. It's okay, she's my stepdaughter.
Wincest, baby, wincest.
What are we going to do? How are we going to tie this porn monster down step by step? We're going to use the Gulliver strategy. Education by education by education. We're going to use a public health approach, just like we stopped drinking and driving.
It's not public health, right? And it's nothing to do with like drinking and driving. It's not a public health approach because porn doesn't cause men harm.
You bring to the table all those who have a vested interest.
It's gone mono towards the end for some reason. I don't know why.
In the well-being of the next generation.
Nothing to do with well-being for the next generation since porn doesn't harm them.
And at my group, Culture Reframed, we are taking...
See, the feminists try to set themselves up as neutral groups, right? It's a public health, solving the public health crisis of the digital age. Culture Reframed. You see, it's very sneaky to act like they're a neutral group. It's about a general concern. No, there's no public health crisis, right? There's no public health crisis. Yeah? They just claim it's one, so they've got a pretext to attack it and ban it.
The public health model, and we are going to build parents' programs, we are going to build programs for professionals, we are going to build programs for students, because we are going to tie this porn monster down piece by piece. And you know why? Because our children are worth more.
So it always bring up the children. So feminist women want the right to abort, right? They want the right to abort viable fetuses. They want. I've seen it. Women abort past the legal limit, over the legal limit. Feminists want to let off. Feminists want to let child killers let off for murder. Feminists want women be let off with postpartum depression. Feminists don't want women to be prosecuted for fetal alcohol syndrome for women who drink. Okay. Single motherhood damages and destroys children's lives, and feminists support single motherhood. Okay. All right. Feminists support circumcision. Done nothing to stop circumcision. Okay, I can list countless examples. Feminists do not give a fuck about children, and I find it deeply offensive when they pretend to care about children. It makes me fucking angry. It's just fucking rank hypocrisy. They don't like men looking at porn, and they want to bring up the children as a non sequitur. It's a non sequitur. Oh, women get raped. Non sequitur. Oh, what about the children? Non sequitur. Oh, there's some sex offenders, paedophiles. Non sequitur. Nothing to do with anything. Nothing to do with anything. Right?
Our culture is worth more. Our boys are worth more.
Yeah, our boys are worth more. They shouldn't be poisoned by feminist hate, and our culture doesn't need feminist bigots like you bitch.
And our girls are worth more. Thank you very much.
Go fuck yourself. Right, okay, now, this. Let's read this. This is, on June the 15th, 2022, a fresh men's legislature in Louisiana, as House of Representatives, accomplished something no other lawmaker or activist in the country could claim. She passed a law that's changing the online porn industry. She's going to be a nuisance to the porn industry. You think this is a result of a bitter cultural battle? Think again. Pornography is creating a public health crisis and having a corroding influence on minors. That's a bare assertion with no proof. There's no public health crisis. Asserts the bill that State Rep Laurie Shingle introduced. Almost no one in the capital in Baton Rouge disputes the statement. Almost no one in the capital, that's weasel language, right? It's unproven. No one disputes this statement. It's not true. There's no proof for it. What do you mean? Did they interview every single fucking one in the capital. No, whatever. The bill sailed through the Louisiana House 96-1. So politicians are anti-male. Politicians are anti-male and they're feminists. Left or right, they're feminists. Like I was talking to someone the other day, and he's trying to claim that the right are against feminists, and it's just ignorance. It's pure ignorance. The right are feminists. Period. And the state Senate 34-0. So yeah. The bill holds pornography websites liable unless the website performs reusable age verification methods. In short, requiring users to show government ID to prove they're 18 or older. So this is to violate privacy. So if you want to, like, let's say you want to watch fisting porn or women taking multiple dicks, or you want to watch BDSM, right? You're going to give your government ID. It's going to be scanned. It leaves you open to fraud from these websites as well. There's going to be leaks, and also your identity is going to be exposed. Your porn habits are going to be exposed. It's to violate the privacy of men. Democratic Governor John Bell Edwards, no fan of the legislature's Republican supermajority, signed the bill about a week it arrived on his desk. So this is like the feminists. They control both sides. The Democrats and Republicans are both feminists, right? And it's always been like that. I promise you, he has no qualms about vetoing our bills, Shiegel told me, in fact, early this summer. The governor has unsuccessfully vetoed a bill banning puberty blockers. I actually agree with banning that. Hormone therapy and elective surgery for minors, calling it so blatantly defective on so many levels. I believe that should actually be banned. Under 18, you can't really consent to do that stuff, right? There she is. It's a woman. Yep. As soon as they ban porn in Iceland completely. As soon as women get power, they go after men. Period. Through the first of its kind, Louisiana's age verification bill was not the last. So this bill is just to hassle website eats and hassle porn consumers and make it less convenient for them to do. So it's government harassment. It's government being a nuisance. Okay. Nearly identical bills have passed in 6 other states: Arkansas, Montana, Mississippi, Utah, Virginia, and Texas, by similarly lopsided margins. Yes, feminist anti-porn hate is mainstream, and look, there's lots of people who love porn. There's lots of people who support porn. There's lots of people who want to consume porn, but they're not. They're not organised. Men are never organised. They're never organised. They never fight back effectively. In Utah and Arkansas, the bill passed unanimously. Laws were passed by overwhelming margins in the legislature controlled by both parties and signed into law by Democratic and Republican governors alike. Okay, in just over a year, age verification laws have become perhaps the most bipartisan policy in the country, restricting male freedom. This is nothing to do with protecting children. America is a country where you can cut the dicks of babies, you can cut their foreskins off, and these fucking cunts, these fucking hypocrites want to pretend it's about protecting the children. Go fuck yourself, you pathological liars. And they're creating havoc in the porn industry that many have considered all but impossible to regulate. Yep, they're creating havoc and disruption. Like, hypothetically, if porn sites are open, above board, and public, right, you're less likely to get illegal content floating around. If they're all driven underground, you're more likely to have illegal content floating around. So it's nothing about illegal content or protecting children. And like, I've seen feminists do this countless times. They'll just tell non-sequitur lies. They go, "Oh, on porn sites you can find children getting raped. You can find violence, women beaten and raped and all that on porn sites." I've never seen one fucking movie like that on Pornhub. Not fucking one. Jesus Christ. Unlike past efforts to curb online porn have simply declared the sites a danger to public health, with no evidence, by the way, these laws are not symbolic, and they're having a real effect on how the massive porn industry does business. Pornhub, the YouTube of pornography, gets more global users than Amazon and Netflix, which proves they must have loads of female consumers. In 2019, the last year Pornhub released its data, the website was visited 42 billion times, or 115 million times each day. Lawsuits have been filed by the Porn Industry Trade Association, the Free Speech Coalition, against Utah and Louisiana. But in the meantime, porn companies have had no choice but to comply with the laws, according to Ethical Capital Partners, the private equity company that owns Pornhub. Traffic in Louisiana has dropped 80%. There's people can get around it, know how to do it, but it's effective though. It gets rid of 8% of users. In the other 3 states where the laws have been in effect for months, Utah, Mississippi, and Virginia, Pornhub did something more unprecedented. It simply stopped operating. Users in these states who attempted to visit the site agreed with a safe for work video of Shirley Devine, a porn star, Clove, explained his site's decision to pull out of the state. So they're getting harassed and nuisanced out of doing something they're morally entitled to do. Okay, so these feminists go, oh, they're restricting female sexuality. They're judging women. They're shaming women of their sexuality. That's lies, right? They're the ones attacking men. Men enjoy pet porn. Men have got a right to access porn. It's a human right, as far as I'm concerned. Men have got a right to access porn without being harassed and having to give out government ID. As the video instructs, some angry porn users have called the legislators, but that's not dim the joy of lawmakers. Their joy. They love it. They're taking this away from men. They fucking love it. Cutting baby dick off. They fucking love it. Oh, what about the children? We got to protect the children. Saw that baby dick off, but we've got to protect them from looking at naked women. Okay. According to the Utah State Senator Todd Weller, the chief sponsor of the Utah bill, many of these colleagues are celebrating an improbable and unexpected retreat of pornography behemoth. I'll tell you what's a bigger behemoth. It's the feminist hate movement. Wheeler said his colleges think it's hilarious that they've been high-fiving each other in boys' triumph. It's hilarious. Taking stuff away from men is hilarious. They love it. They love every single second of it. These bills didn't originate for some evangelical PAC or conservative think tank. Their actual origin was ironically the Howard Stern show. It was December 2001, and Siegel was on a daily news scroll through the Apple News when she saw an article describing pop star Billie Eilish's appearance on the famous shock jock show. Eilish told Stern, "I used to watch a lot of porn, to be honest, and I started watching porn when I was like 11. I really think it destroyed my brain, and I feel incredibly devastated as opposed to so much porn." That's a lie, by the way. And basically, females have got access to sexuality far more than men. Billie Eilish, she doesn't need porn, right? She doesn't need porn. She can get all the dick, or she can get all the vagina she wants if she's a lesbian. I don't know much about her. She's got access to sexuality. So the privileged female burns the bridge and cuts off porn access to others who need it. Men who need it, right? Siegel, 46, had only been sworn in as state representative 6 months earlier after winning a battle, low turnout special election by 270 votes against an opponent with a famous name in New Orleans politics. So what men need to do is they need to target politicians with marginal seats, right? Target them and get them voted out. So next election, we need 500 MRAs to turn up at this state and vote against them. Get them out, then publicly declare the reasons why they voted against them. You make them pay the price, right? He sent out a mailer saying that sending a social worker like Siegel to State House would be like pouring money down the drain. She compared him to a faceless mannequin in response. Siegel isn't a social worker. She's a sex addiction therapist. That's my speciality, she told me proudly. It's even an X bio. Oh, so this is pseudoscience. There's no such thing as sex addiction. It's just no fat nonsense. But no fat nonsense. It's embraced by feminists and tradcons alike. Already aware of the problem of child exposure to pornography due to her work. There's no problem. Citation needed. There's no evidence of harm whatsoever. The Eilish interview inspired Siegel to act. I thought how courageous it was. It was just sort of re-emphasizing to me what the problem is, especially for our children. My children! Single motherhood encouraged. Child support encouraged. Female killers encouraged. Let female killers off the hook. Cut baby dick off. Right? Circumcise those helpless baby boys. Right? But my children, oh, fuck off with this rank hypocrisy. My children, it makes me angry, legitimately. But how Siegel, a freshman representative, convinced her colleagues to take on the industry that seemed too big to curtail? She needed an expert to persuade the legislature, she figured, and she had just the person in mind. Gail Danes, whose anti-porn research and activism had been on Siegel's radar for years. Siegel first discovered her work through a 2015 TED Talk, that's the TED Talk we just watched, entitled Growing Up in a Pornified Culture. Danes is a self-described radical feminist, sociologist, and anti-porn crusader from Manchester, England, who's lived in the United States for 37 years. Okay. So, there you go. It's a strange coupling between anti-abortionist Louisiana's Republican and a professor who says her radical feminism encompasses many socialist feminist principles. Feminists are not socialists. Feminists can't be socialists. Feminists can't be egalitarian. Right? If a feminist says she's a trad femme, or she's a socialist femme, or she's this femme, she's lying. A feminist is a feminist is a feminist is a feminist. That's it. She's a feminist. There's no such thing as socialist feminists. Right? But they know that. Right. She is not going to date and have intimacy with a homeless man. She's not being egalitarian in her sexuality. She's going to be hypergamous, deselect lower status men, and cut them off from intimacy. That is female sexuality. And females don't just do that with their sexuality, they do that in their social circles as well, outside of sexuality. They exclude lower status men and marginalise them. It's not a marriage, let's be very clear on this, Danes told me, though they share some goal of diverting kids from porn. They don't necessarily, it's part of the same larger project for Danes. It's about doing the right thing when it comes to controlling capitalism that's out of control. Non sequitur, this has nothing to do with being against capitalism, right? Feminists are the ultimate capitalists. Feminism thrives under capitalism. The current wave of feminism is the form of feminism that is thriving under capitalism, right? I don't need to read the rest of this. This is an interesting read, and I recommend you read it, and I'll link it in the video description, right? But I just want to look at this. Let's see. So this is I'll link this here, and this is the porn stats on violent porn. Here's the official porn violence rankings: trans men, cis women, trans women, cis men. I hate using the term cis, so I didn't mean to do that. But heterosexual men are the lowest ranked when it comes to violence in porn. Trans biological women are the highest ranked when it comes to violence in porn. So this is all accusation and projection. And I actually don't have a problem with women liking sadistic porn. If it's consensual, it's fictional, and whatever they do in the bedroom, as long as it's consensual, I've got no problem with, right? If women want to have their dicks slapped with cocks, they want to be choked, they want to be strangled, they want to get fucked up the arse or pussy really hard, that's their business, 100%. I've got nothing against it. But they're projecting their own traits onto us and then shaming us for it. That's what they're doing. Yeah? So here's some more studies. There's studies out there. Okay? Now this is what really pisses me off. This is basically blah blah blah. Women look at violent porn more than men. There's countless studies proving this. Like there's Pornhub surveys, there's other surveys, there's other studies. All the studies prove that women like violent porn than men. If you know anything about female sexuality, if you've been intimate with women online or in the real world, right? Because a lot of my intimacy with women has been online, where I've talked to them what they really like. You'll be in for a big shock. There's so many women who cheat online. There's so many women into violent porn, right? There's so many women into horror movies, right? Into sadism, women into being choked. And I don't judge people for enjoying that sort of stuff. If it's consensual, if it's fictional, if it's not real, right? Whatever they do in the bedroom, whatever they consume, whatever media they consume, that's fine. I play video games where I go around killing fictional characters. It's not violence, right? It's fiction. I'm not judging them for it, but again, they accuse us of being violent, liking violent stuff, and they shame us for it. What are the implications of men and women's real sex lives? The findings may serve to... I'll link this all, by the way. The findings may serve to alleviate some of the blame and feelings of guilt expressed by men and women who prefer or are attracted to representations of aggression in pornography. Okay, so what this is saying is that the finding that women like violent porn than men is going to alleviate their guilt. So women like it more than men. So suddenly it's valid. It's okay because women like it. When we used to think it's only men that liked it, it was bad, it was wrong. But because women like it, it's okay. So women are socially dominant. They set the rules. They can change the rules. They can move the goalposts. There's no consistency. They don't apply standard to men, right, and then apply it to themselves, right? They're arbitrary tripwires, and they just move the goalposts at will. The motive here is not concern for children. Feminists don't give a fuck about children, right? They don't care about children. Abortion is anti-children, okay? Especially late-term abortion. They don't like children. They don't care about children. Family court harms children. Divorce harms children. Giving custody to the mother harms children. Enabling parental alienation harms children. It's a fact. It's been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay? And feminists are currently denying that parental alienation even exists and claims it's pseudoscience. Okay? So we can discount it's harming children nonsense. Feminists want to restrict the life choices of men. They want to restrict the life choices of men they're in relationships with, and they want to restrict the life choices of deselected men, right? They want us dead on some primal level. They want us marginalised, they want us excluded, they want us in the gutter starving to death, right? What feminists will do, they want us to be, they'll deny us the right to commit suicide, right? They say, no, you can't kill yourself, even if they drive us to despair. They would want us in the gutter starving to death, begging for mercy and being denied mercy so they could spit on us. So feminist women want to deny us life choices and freedom and choice. So Yeah. Okay, let's look at some of the comments. So, okay. So, yeah, there you go. Absolutely right. As a teenage girl, I've experienced this too. When I was 11, I did not expect choking and brutal sex practically rape to be legal in mainstream porn. Rape is not legal. Rape is not mainstream porn, right? BDSM, consensual BDSM being filmed is not rape. It's not rape. You see, feminists misuse the term rape all the time. Then you get turned on by it and you think it's normal. And I'm scared that I will not be able to have sex with any guys without wanting me to do that. Wanting me to do that. Intimacy is dead. So that's your own hang up and your own problem there. You're blaming it. So you was innately attracted to this and you seeked it out. My partner disclosed he's been hiding his use from me for months. Everyone tells me it's no big deal. Everyone tells me it's no big deal, and I'm reacting and feeling hurt. You're feeling hurt in the sense that a controlling, abusive boyfriend feels hurt that his spouse is seeing her friends. Right? I'm using that stereotype as an analogy. Right? So a controlling, abusive spouse controls the other spouse. He's hurt when his control is broken. Thank you, girl, for validating presentation and continued advocacy for women and girls everywhere. So she wants to control her husband's or boyfriend's porn habits, and she wants that feeling of control and sadism validated. Because it's sadism to want to control someone like that. His body, his choice. He's fucking entitled to do whatever he fucking wants. He's entitled to go off and jerk off to anything he wants that's legal. It's his body, his choice, his penis, his choice, yeah? You see, this is my body, my choice. Yeah? Should your partner stop you looking at erotica and reading romance novels then? Yeah? So, yeah. So this is all just comments cheering her on, blah blah blah. So this is it. This is a woman. She managed to team up with tradcons, right wingers, conservatives, Christian fundamentalists, right, who are generally pro baby dick cutters. She teamed up with them. She teamed up with them and is getting porn restricted. And they're not going to stop. They're going to keep on pushing and they're going to keep on pushing. And then she, like she said, the Gulliver strategy. She said it in the video: death by 1,000 cuts, slow restrictions, bit by bit. This is the slippery slope. It's not a fallacy in this regard, right? Feminists are out to get you as a man. They're out to take away your pleasures and hobbies. Over and out.